Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's going on with you? I hope everybody is having a great evening, great morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to I Slay Spina Bifida. Here on this channel, we slay all obstacles that comes our way. Before I get into the video or story time, I wanted to ask you guys for your opinion. Um, you see, August the 30th, I'm going to be going to a church event, church banquet for our church to celebrate 25 years where my mom and my dad, we've been ministering over on the west side of Chicago for a very long time. 25 years, you guys, 25 years. But I wanted to know if you guys want to see a get ready with me where I do my makeup and show you my nice little black tie dress that I have that I'm going to get anyway. I haven't gotten it yet, but let me know in the comments if that's what you would like to see a get ready with me. Um, Make sure you like, share, subscribe, make a comment, and yeah, so let's get started. So this story time is about my experience in the nursing home. I remember I said in one of my videos that I am going to talk about that and how what my experiences was and how I felt. So if you know anybody that is in a nursing home, you have a loved one that's in a nursing home, or you know somebody that has a loved one in a nursing home, please have them to watch this video because this is very important. I'm trying to be a voice for people who cannot speak for themselves. People who have Alzheimer's and people with mental disabilities, speech impediments, people that not able to move around or do anything for themselves, and they have to depend on these people in the facility to take care of them. So um, just have them to watch it, share it with them, if you will, if you can. So it started off 2015. I ended up in a nursing home because I had a wound on my foot that was not healing, and then I had other wounds that I didn't know about because when you have spina bifida, there are some um, areas on your body. I don't like the word paralysis, but I guess this is what the world uses. There are some paralysis on your body where you cannot feel anything. There's no sensation there. So, um, I ended up going to the hospital because of this wound on my foot. I noticed that my leg was turning purple. And so my mom's like, you need to go to the hospital. I don't know where that's coming from. My legs was swelling up and everything. It was horrible. So I finally went to the hospital that next day. Come to find out, I had a wound on my foot and it was not healing. And so the doctor had to remove some dead skins off of my foot. And then he tried to send me home with the open wound on my foot. And y'all know how insurance people, they so cheap and everything, and you know, they don't want people to stay longer. I mean, they don't want people to they don't want them to stay longer in the hospital and things like that. So um I said, well, you guys got to send me somewhere where my wound can get treated, and then I can go back home because I cannot go home with the open wound on my foot because my mother's house is not wheelchair accessible. it's not accessible and it's not equipped for me to get around. Um, Cause during that time I was moving a lot. I was like in and out my chair with the walker. I had my leg braces, and then at that time, 2015, insurance was really acting funny back then. I couldn't even get my leg braces. I had to have keep the ones that I had for 5 years, and then I could get some new ones. Well, the ones that I did have was falling apart. So it was like, okay, so now I gotta wait what 5 more years to get some more leg braces. That's ridiculous. I mean, you're already doing it with the wheelchairs, but now you you're preventing me from walking like I want to walk. So, and not only that, too, guys, I'm keeping it 100. At that time, I was not taking care of myself. I was in the mode of depression. I didn't care what I was eating. I didn't care what people were saying. You know, I wasn't even listening to my mother because, I was just in that mode like I didn't care. So, um I had to swallow my pride and was like, I have to go to the nursing home because I didn't want my mother and my sister and whoever else was in the household to help me get up the stairs because I'm a big girl. I don't want to break nobody back. And I'm just being honest. Like, I did not want to do that. So I called my mother and I told her, and I was like, Mom, I know this may sound crazy, but I'm gonna have to do this. But I need to go to the nursing home because I cannot go home with this open wound on my foot. And plus I had other wounds that I did not know that was there. So she was kind of skeptical about it. She said, I don't know if I don't want you to be in there. I said, well, your apartment, I mean, your house is not really, our house is not really accessible for me to get around. And they don't want me to put pressure on my foot to, um, so that, so it can heal. So my mom was like, okay, you got to do what you got to do. So I had to swallow my pride and go into the nursing home. Now, the first one I was in, straight up, 100% horrible. The food was nasty. They had, can you say, Rat City? It was a whole lot of rats in there. Uh, some of the staffs was pretty good. Maybe a handful of them. But them nurses, honey, they was something else. Some of them nurses up in there, they I would find out, I would do my homework, I watch them, and when I ask them how many times do you guys supposed to dress my wounds, and they told me, so I wrote it down. And every time they wouldn't come and dress it, I'll remind them, and they will get mad at me because I'm reminding them to dress my wound. Now, I don't want no infections that ended up in the hospital again. They don't realize that it hurts especially when they sticking you in the vein, trying to give you antibiotics and things like that. So I was like, I was on it. Like, y'all need to come and dress my wounds. They didn't want to do that. And what took the cake was when I ended up in the hospital because my wounds was infected. Because they was not dressing it like they were supposed to. So my mom was like, well, the place is too far anyway. And let me tell you guys something. Just because you see a nursing home that's in a facility, I mean, that's, Lord have mercy. Just because you see a nursing home that's in a nice neighborhood, because this nursing home was in a nice neighborhood, it was by the lake, okay? That does not mean that it's clean inside. That does not mean they got good staffs. None of that. And like I said, the food was nasty because the evidence was on the floor when one of them mice came into the dining room and croaked. Poor thing died. I'm really not trying to be funny, but that's what happened. I believe he ate off of one of them trays and croaked. That's what happened. So, just because you see something in a nice neighborhood, you better do some homework, baby. Do homework. And looks are deceiving. It's in the Christian world where we say the devil make things look pretty. He make things look pretty. He do. If you don't want popcorn, he'll give you some ice cream. If you don't want ice cream, he'll give you a pretty cake. That's how the nursing homes are. I ain't gonna say all of them, but the ones I've been in, honey, that it's all about this money. That's all they want, money. So I went to another nursing home that was close by, and at first, the food was good. It was good. It was so good until the staffs were eating it. Okay? Until, I'm going to just call her Sister Trump. Sister Trump came along, you know, and everything just started changing. The food started to be nasty, and it was one incident that I had with Sister Trump. She came in my room and I was on an air mattress, laying in the bed on my air mattress. She come looking around like this. Oh, you look too comfortable. I'm like, what you mean I look too comfortable? So then, okay. Next thing I know, my air mattress is gone. And then they gonna lie to my mama, gonna tell her, oh, that's a low pressure air mattress. Ain't no such thing as low pressure air mattress. If the doctors would look on my medical records, they automatically know whenever I'm in the hospital, we gonna get you an air mattress, because they know from the past that I've had pressure wounds. And so I can't be just laying on something that's regular and think that's gonna be okay. I can't do that. I have to have an air mattress. Same thing with my chair. I have to have an air mattress. And so, I mean, not an air mattress, an air cushion or gel cushion. One of them. So, okay, then I had, if you guys don't know, I do have bladder issues as well. That's part of spina bifida. So I had to have a Foley inserted, and then they when the nurse would insert the Foley, they'll change it like every month. It's supposed to be every 2 weeks, but I don't know what that deal was about. I guess whatever. But she told them not to change. My Sister Trump told them not to change our Foleys, whoever it was, not just me, because there was a lot of us in that facility had Foley catheters. And so she told them not to change our Foley catheters unless there's something wrong with it. So I'm thinking like, okay, you the head boss, you should know that, especially for people with spina bifida, we are prone to infections, urinary tract infections. We are prone to that. So for you to tell them not to change our Foley catheters, um, no, that's not gonna happen. Cause I am not gonna be in nobody else's hospital because you all ain't doing what you supposed to do. So I came to her like a woman. I was not rah rah and Shay Shay Nim from the west side, cause that will come out of me. But I was being nice, and I said, I think you should tell your nurses to change my Foley every month because I am prone to infections. She tells me, and I quote, I am, no, she says, I've been in this field for 20 years and I got myself a degree. I know what I'm talking about. For those who are in the works in the nursing home field, that are nurses and head nurses or whatever you want to call yourself, you need to read up on all kinds of birth defects, disabilities, all kinds of ailments that you really need to read it. Because I don't believe none of y'all read things. If you coming in the facility telling me about my body, that's terrible. So she, okay, and I'm looking like, look, I'm just telling you from experiences. You don't have a degree on this 40-year-old body. Well, at the time I was 39. Uh, you don't know nothing about this 39-year-old body. Like, I'm telling you from experiences. I can get UTIs back to back if you don't change this Foley. Okay. So she ain't listen to me. So I said, okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. But I did call my mother and told her about it. And so then she says, I don't know what she tell me. I don't know why you think that you know everything. You don't know everything. And I told her, you don't know everything. I'm trying to tell you so it can prevent me from going to somebody's hospital. Sure enough, the next day, man, I was burning up with a fever. By the time I left that nursing home facility, it was my temperature was already like 101 or something like that. It was so hot that when the nurses at the hospital touched my arm, they was like, "Oh, you is really hot." Like I was hot. I was burning up with a fever. Come to find out, sure enough, I had a UTI and it spread it a little bit on the kidney. Like when I told you, okay, so, and this is another thing that they do at the nursing home, y'all. When they send your loved one or whoever it is, your friend, to the hospital, and they already had plans to move people around, they move that person that's in the hospital around to another room, and then your stuff get lost. And that's exactly what happened to me. They sent me up on the second floor where all the people, that has their mind is just gone. Not saying that I got something against that, because we all need treatment of some sort. And everybody has their right to be where they need to be or whatnot. But if you're going to pair up people with physical disabilities, their roommates should have the same condition. I'm going to tell you why. Because you don't know people with schizophrenic, people with all types of mental disabilities, you don't know when they about to go off.